What is going on, guys and girls? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing a topic that is probably one of the most spoken about topics in the trading industry, which is quitting your job, actually getting to the stage where you can quit your job and trade full time. And today we're going to be discussing how to do that. Now, I did this for myself in 2021. I quit my full-time job in the construction industry to trade full time, and I haven't looked back. It's been over 5 years now. I've made multi-seven figures trading the financial markets, and the getting to the stage of quitting your job phase is actually the difficult bit. So we're going to walk through how to do that successfully so that you don't end up like another statistic where you don't actually ever get to quit your full-time job and trading just becomes part of your side project or your resume that you can say you've tried it. So in this video, we're going to break down how to quit your job through trading. And with that being said, let's get straight into it. So most people who want to trade full-time never make it. Why? Not because they're a bad trader. A lot of people that trade actually are quite good. It's because they quit their job too early. They trade with money they cannot afford to lose, and they let the pressure of needing to perform destroy the process and the systems that are starting to work. That last one is the real driver. That's the real reason. It's the additional pressure of, I don't have anything to fall back on. Now I need to trade. Now I need to make money. And that is very psychologically difficult, especially when you quit your full-time job and you're just kind of getting started as a full-time trader. So the dream to quit. The dream is real. Most of the time, people have an unrealistic timeline of how long this is going to take. It is not going to take you 3 months. Trading full-time is very achievable. There are tens of thousands of people all around the world that have quit their full-time job, traded full-time, made 5, 6, 7, 8, and sometimes even 9 figures from trading the financial markets. It's very achievable. The journey or the path that gets you there is not 6 weeks, and it isn't 3 months, and it doesn't look anything like the journey that gets sold to you on social media. So this video is the one that no one makes, because this video is going to tell you exactly how long it takes. Depending on where you're at in your trading journey, that could be 6 months, could be 6 years, could be 16 years. And you have to be realistic about what that timeline is for you, because it's not clickbait. That's just how it is. That's what it takes. So the maths that most people never do. How much do you earn right now? If you're watching this video, what is your monthly take-home salary as of right now? Let's just work off round figures sakes. It's $100,000, right? $100,000 should be your minimum trading income target, not the profit you make from trading, your income. Now, depending on where you live and how you structure your things, etc., you probably need to add 30% on top of that for tax, plus slow months, plus living costs. That's closer to your target. So let's just be super conservative and say that it's probably another 40% on top of that. Now, at a 3 to 5% monthly return, which is good. It's not outstanding, but like if you're doing 3 to 5% a month consistently every month, you're in the top 10%, probably the top 5% of traders on the planet. It's pretty good. So what size account do you need to do that? Well, if you're earning a 10K per month target at a 4% return, then you would need a $250,000 account. I'm going to say that again. If you're earning $100,000 a year, and you expect to quit your full-time job, you need a $250,000 account, and you need to be doing approximately 4% a month on that account. So for those of you that are watching this, that have got a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 account, and you're earning $120,000 a year, and you think that that $50,000 account is going to allow you to quit your job, you are mistaken. It is a solvable problem, but you are mistaken. That is incorrect. You're not going to be able to do that. Most people are going to try and quit their job on a $5,000 account. $5,000 into crypto, I'm going to replace my salary. To replace a $60,000 salary at a realistic 4% monthly return, you need $125,000 in capital. That number might come as a bit of a shock. $60,000 salary is not huge, but having to make $125,000 in your account and then earn 4% on that every single month consistently just to replace the 60K salary, that's the numbers, right? And building to it while you're employed is 1,000 times easier than trying to get there under pressure. Keeping your full-time job for as long as possible so that you can build, stack, grow, and compound your trading account is a cheat code. Anybody that tells you otherwise is trying to sell you some shit that doesn't work. Stay in your full-time job as long as possible because that is the stress-free zone. The 6-month rule before you hand in your notice. Ideally, you need 6 months of consecutive profitable months or consistent months replacing your salary. Not your best month, not the Hail Mary where you caught a crypto trade, made loads of money, your average month. You need 6 average performance months to be good enough in order to quit. Having a big month is not enough of an edge. You need 6 months and you're starting to really, sharpen your sword now, right? If you can't do it with the safety net, then you sure as shit are not going to be able to do it when the safety net is not there, because your psychological brain is going to come online and it's going to talk to you. So without the safety net, it's way harder. It's easier with the safety net. Keep your job until your trading income makes it optional for you to leave. That is a very good line. Think about that. Keep your job until trading allows your job to be optional. Optional is the goal, not desperation. Why quitting too early is the biggest mistake you can make. The moment that you need trading to pay for your bills, everything changes. You start to overtrade, you start to take bad setups, you break your rules, you close too early, you drop a stop loss where you shouldn't. You cannot sit on your hands because you feel the requirement and the need to continue to trade. So you need to trade. That is a recipe for losing money. When you're under pressure, that will change your discretionary decisions into emotional ones, because every decision that you make will be made with the thought process of, I need this to be profitable, to pay the bills next week, to pay the mortgage this month, to pay for whatever. The process that used to work with no pressure will almost certainly break under pressure. Your job is not the enemy of your trading, it's funding it. Protect the runway for as long as you possibly can. And if you have a runway, you want to build that runway as much as possible so that when you eventually do leave, you're in the stress-free zone. You're in the unemotional zone. Trading is a psychologically difficult journey, and people talk about, I say this in these videos, people talk about taking the path of least resistance in your trading. Very true. You should also be taking the psychological path of least resistance, making it as easy as possible for yourself psychologically. The tax conversation that nobody has. Trading income, depending on where you live in the world, is taxed differently depending on your structure. Now, in Australia, frequent trading could be classified as a business. Capital gains treatment, income tax treatment, they're two different things. They can be categorized differently. If you're planning on quitting your full-time job from trading, you should speak to your accountant. Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. You should speak to your accountant before you go full-time to make sure you've got the correct structure in place, to make sure that the instruments that you're trading allow you to have your tax compliance done properly at the start. Operating through a company structure might reduce your tax loading. This is something to be mindful of. If you're going to treat your trading like a full-time business and run it like a full-time business, then you should be set up like a correct business. Get this right before you need to pull the money to cover your living expenses. Nobody tells you how hard the psychological shift is. I'm about to tell you. I quit my full-time job 5 years ago and went through this exact psychological shift. No more boss, no structure, no paycheck. You wake up whenever you like, go to the gym whenever you like, walk down the beach at 10 o'clock in the morning, go to a random cafe at 11:30 and order something that you would never normally order. You have no structure. It's actually very difficult. When you're on the grind and you're working and you're in the gym early and you've got the LFG energy, it's great. Everything's humming along nicely. Bills paid every week, income in. Some of that stops when you trade full time. You become your own boss, but you also become your own counsel and your own self-guidance. You are now 100% responsible for your own income, your own schedule, managing your time, your own performance. It's all on you. Most people who want freedom and say they want freedom have never actually experienced what that feels like. It is harder than it looks. It's much harder than it looks. It requires a level of discipline that you may potentially have not had before. So this is how you build structure when you quit your job and go full-time. You set defined trading hours, not all day. If you if you quit your full-time job and sit in front of the computer all day, you are going to lose money. More screen time does not equal more money. More screen time almost certainly never equals more money. It actually equals more mistakes, more discretionary trades, more emotional decision making. Less is more. Treat it exactly like a job. You have a start time and you have an end time. It doesn't matter what that is. If you're an Asian session trader and your start time is 8 a.m. and your end time is 11 a.m., that's your jam. If you trade the New York Open and you're on the charts at 9 p.m. and you're coming off the charts at 11:30 p.m. if you're on my time zone, that's your jam. That's your area that you focus on. No exceptions. Start time, end time, review time. That's your job. The traders who last are the ones with the most boring routines. Trading consistently and profitably is very boring. That's why you'll see a lot of traders who actually know what they're doing will pick up hobbies. They'll have other side businesses. They'll be working on other things. Trading full time is somewhat boring. Set a weekly income target and a weekly loss limit. If your objective is to make $10,000 per month and you make $15,000 in the first week and a half of the month, you might choose that 15 is your limit. You've done 50% more than your target. I'm having the rest of the month off. Instead of over trading, thinking I've cracked the code, I want to make 50 G's this month, and then you end up giving 10,000 of it back and finish on 5, and you're down 5K for the month. Have a limit, both upside and downside. You can always come back the next week. You can always come back the next month. Define this for yourself and then don't break it. No exceptions. The hybrid model. This is the smarter path if you hadn't worked this out already. Keep some income coming in while you're scaling your trading account, whether it's freelance, part-time, casual, consulting work, anything that takes the pressure off. If your expenses are $5,000 a month and you can earn $4,000 relatively easily outside trading and have it not impact your trading too much, then you only need $1,000 a month from trading to make up the shortfall. Way easier psychologically. Even $2,000 a month from another source. It helps. It's $500 a week. Depending on how much time it involves and how easy it is, that can ease the load. It also means that when you have a bad week, not if, when you have a bad trading week, it doesn't threaten your rent. It doesn't make you have a tight bumhole. It doesn't make you go, oh shit, I need to change something. Everybody has a bad week. Everybody has a bad month. You need to allow for that in your cash flow forecasting plan. Reduce the hybrid model as your trading income consistently replaces it. If your hybrid model means I need to earn X to do Y and my trading account starts to earn me X to do Y, then you do a phase out. You don't jump out, you do a phase out. The transition out of full-time work into trading should also be somewhat boring. So what does a realistic timeline look like? The first year, you're probably learning your craft. If you're watching this video and you are super green and you've never traded before, you're in the learning phase for at least a year. If you've been trading for a while and you keep making the same mistakes, that can be fixed faster, but it's also a blessing and a curse because you've got lots of bad habits and you think you know better. So you've got to unlearn those habits first and get serious about treating your trading like a full-time business. So you want to learn the craft, trade small, build your process. Do not expect to replace your income in the first year. This is possible, but it's not realistic, right? Your first year should be capital preservation, risk management. The second year, then you start to refine your edge. You start to sharpen your sword. You increase sizing if applicable. You start tracking everything. You start to see what consistent execution actually looks like over a 50 to 100 trade sample size. That doesn't take 2 weeks. That takes a while. In the third year and beyond, and this is true for me, right? I've got 3 years in here because it took me 3 years to get good. 2017 to 2020, I sucked. First year, sucked. Second year, okay, but not amazing. Third year, starting to click. Fourth year, bang, off we go. Year 3 and beyond, you're scaling, but you're doing it with some confidence. You've got some experience. You've been around the block a bit now and back, potentially twice. Then you start to scale. This is when the full-time actually can become a conversation. Now, if you're really keen and hungry, I've got some personal clients that did it in under a year. One of them did it in 9 months specifically. You can shorten that timeline, but it's good to be realistic about how long it's going to take you. It took me 3 years. It's taken 2 of my personal consulting clients under a year, 9 months. Can be done, but it's good to be realistic. This is a business, not a side hustle. Traders who make it treat it with the same seriousness as someone who builds a company. You have a plan, a budget, a process, a review system. You are not winging it and hoping that the market cooperates with your plan. You are building and allowing and executing for all scenarios in all areas. You build a business. This is a business. It's not a hobby. Before you hand in your notice, make sure you're ticking every box. Do I have 6 months of consecutive replacing my salary from my active trading account? Yes or no? Do I have a clearly defined and documented mechanical trading strategy? Is it mechanical, not discretional? Yes or no? Is my account large enough to generate my income target realistically? We covered it at the start. If you need to make $100,000 a year, you're not doing that with a $20,000 account. Yes or no? Do I have a tax structure in place, and has that been reviewed by an accountant? Do I actually have a business plan for how I'm going to run my trading business, how I'm going to set it up, where I'm going to domicile it? Yes or no? Do I have a daily and weekly routine that is already built and being followed? Not a trading plan that I follow when it suits me, not a psychological plan that I follow when it suits me or when something goes wrong. Do I have a daily and weekly routine, and am I executing that? Yes or no? If you've got no's here, you're not ready. You're not. And you have to be honest with yourself about the fact that you're probably not ready yet, because you're still treating it like a side business. And that is exactly why it's only a side business. If you start treating it like a full-time business, it will eventually become one. So if you want help building some frameworks on how to get there, QT, Quantum Traders, my mechanical trading community. The process, the risk management, the structure, the things you need to start taking your trading seriously, weekly analysis, crypto, equities, metals, you name it, we're trading it. One-to-one consulting if you want to accelerate your path. We've also got a monthly membership model, 5 weekly webinars we're doing now. We're covering all different markets. We've got all 3 head traders. We're active. If you want to work with us, for those ready to go deeper, as always, I put all of the links in the description below. You can join us or you can come on as a consulting client. The links are always there in the descriptions. And lastly, to finish off, you do not quit your job to become a trader. You become a trader and then quitting becomes optional. Keep it mechanical. You guys and girls take care. Have a wonderful week ahead. Happy trading. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.